I'd like to introduce Carolyn Nguyen, the Chief Executive Officer of San Diego Gas and Electric.
Well, thank you, Derek, and thank you, Chair Vargas. I'd like to thank everyone here. Thank you for your commitment and the critical partnership that enable us to work very closely together as we ready our response organizations and the people in our communities. I think it's really important to mention that there's something unique about our region in that there's such a strong spirit of collaboration when you think about whose responsibility it is to prepare and respond to the needs of the people of our community. And at SDG&E, it's because of these events that we've built a capability of our meteorology team that have these advanced capabilities to be able to model and to be able to produce real-time data critical for first responders that we share with a variety of emergency responders, that we share with the cities and counties and all of our customers. Now, our weather team has been tracking and monitoring this along with NOAA and the National Weather Service for the past 10 days. And that has really been beneficial for all of us because it's allowed us time to prepare and to be able to develop plans. And these are unprecedented weather conditions, and I find myself saying that quite often, that we have these unprecedented weather conditions. But it has provided really critical input for our readiness plan. I think the two weather elements that we're most concerned about with this event are certainly the rain and the wind. And the wind too often causes trees and other types of objects and debris to fall into our power lines and become airborne. And I think the rain can saturate grounds and cause the trees to topple. And it's also causing cars to veer off and run into our infrastructure. We've already had some cars run into our infrastructure and cause power outages this morning. I think relevant here, SDG&E's continuing efforts to improve our system resiliency and our reliability, and that's going to help us in this event. Today, over 60% of our system is underground, and we continue to place more lines underground. And also, we are continuing to build more resiliency in our overhead system by replacing our wood poles with more resilient steel poles. I think that's going to serve us well in these more extreme events. And this work will continue to be a priority for us. I think additionally, these heavy rain, it's going to cause flooding, and it has the potential for customer impacts and can impact our capability to respond to these outages. So as we do for these events, you know, SDG&E has been preparing. We have our Emergency Operations Center activated, and we've strategically positioned our field crews to be able to respond, and we've been able to do so to date. We've secured extra crews, extra equipment, and we're ready. We're ready and we're bracing for the brunt of the storm. But I want to be really transparent to our customers and tell you that we're going to quickly and restore power, but it's really going to be dependent on the weather impacts. You know, all the flooding can cause us to not be able to get in and have access to some of these areas. And some of these wind conditions, we may not be able to get our line people up in our bucket trucks because the winds may cause us not to be able to do that. So I really want to make sure that our customers are prepared for prolonged outages. We're hoping we can get to everything and get all customers back on very quickly, but I just want to make sure that the customers are prepared. So I'm going to ask for everyone's patience and understanding as power restoration may take longer than normal. And, you know, with storms, overhead power lines can be caused to drop and fall. So I want to make sure that every customer knows that if a power line is on the ground, do not touch it. Assume that it's got electricity still flowing through it and call 911. Also, if customers are smelling gas, call 911. And, you know, the brunt of the storm is coming, so we are prepared for it. And we have sent direct communications to our customers. Call 911 or call into our call center if you have any questions. We do have an SDG&E app. It's got a breadth of information on it, including where all of the outages are. And we will try to keep our estimated restoration times up to date as best as we can, given the breadth of the number of outages that could happen over the next 24 hours. Thank you, and I'd like to introduce Jeff Toney, the County Office of Emergency Services Director.